Once again, civil engineering in Germany, the programs available. Here are our speakers. I will again introduce them separately in a minute. But before that, I want to mention who is behind this session. This is my German university, Germany's largest study program database. This means that if you are simply searching for opportunities in Germany to study bachelor's or master's on master's or bachelor's level, and the language can be English, German, English and German, or some other languages, I don't know, Spanish or Chinese. Also, some programs are in these languages. You can use the study finder, which is very user-friendly. You have lots of filters. You can combine those, sort programs according to deadline, have program-related information as a one package in one place. You can always favor programs and never miss deadlines. So this is the way how you can have a shortlisted list of the programs which you want to apply to, and then hopefully also get admission from. We also have lots of articles. Those articles can be very specific, can be also be a bit broader. In terms of specific, it can be really specific. For example, visa processing time in your country. So and in terms of broad, it could be, for example, motivation letter template or suggestions how to write one. Therefore, feel free to also check them carefully as they provide very important information. And one, for me, really notable thing is that those articles are written by internationals. This means that we try to really tackle those pain points that we went through ourselves, as I was also once applying to a German university, and I want to share my experience then with you. To stay connected, we have webinars, and we have more than 200 webinars per year. Actually, next week we are launching new webinars about different topics related to visa. So don't miss out these premieres as well. And then luckily we also have subject webinars as you are attending now today. And in those webinars we have guest speakers and they are presenting study programs. And I believe this is also another great chance to already connect with your future program from the very beginning and already get to know people and have their also advices on how to successfully apply. This is our team. We are based in Hamburg, Germany, and we are counseling in different languages. But I want to mention that by counseling, we do not do one-to-one counseling, and we do not do the applications for you. So we try to connect you and suitable study program, and then you can already prepare your application yourself. Now, as I mentioned, our study finder is very user-friendly. And if you check for civil engineering programs, you have options that are more than 300. Of course, I believe you don't have time to go one by one through all programs. Therefore, you need to narrow down, first of all, according to bachelor and master's. And then you have lots of filters here. You can click on see all filters and adjust all the different things. And then you will receive most suitable programs for you. For example, you already have your TOEFL or IELTS test, or you already have work experience, and you are specifically searching for programs from Universities of Applied Sciences or some other criteria. You can always adjust those, and then the filter will, or the search engine will show you the relevant programs. You see here a small hearts. You can always favor programs and then sort them according to, for example, application deadlines, so that you never miss it. If you don't know, is it worth the effort of studying in civil engineering in Germany? Of course, after today's webinar, you will say yes, but in advance, you could also have a look on the subject pages, which provide general subject description. There are some graphs according to tuition fees, application, admission requirements, language requirements. And this is just a nice overview of a subject and how it's being taught in Germany. However, regarding the application and admission requirements especially, I will always recommend you checking each program individually. Even from this one university, programs can have different admission requirements, so it's always very important to carefully understand what the program requires, what are the documents, and then prepare a full application so that you guarantee already to start, like you have more chances of starting the program in Germany. Another tip will be to also get to know the content of a program. So there should be a mutual match between the qualification you bring and what program expects from you, and also what you expect from a program. Since you will be spending amount of your life in this program, it should be interesting for you. Therefore, you should not be only guided by some names, but also the program content is really important when selecting one. Briefly about the university landscape in Germany. In Germany, there are universities and universities of applied sciences. For further details, we have a whole article about it, but I want to mention that usually programs that are offered by universities are more research and theory oriented, and universities of applied sciences have more application practice oriented programs. However, as always, there are exceptions on both sides. Therefore, once again, check out the program description. Many program module books are also available on their pages, so it's also very important to check and know already beforehand what you are about to study. And finally, feel free to check the program by subjects, not by program names, because guessing program name is not a good idea. All right, now the most interesting part will start, because we start with program presentations, and the first one to present is Ahmed Rafat, who will be talking about Master in Engineering, Sustainable Engineering of Infrastructure, Civil Engineering program from Fachhochschule Erfurt. For the location and some quick facts, have a quick look at the slide, but I will stop it because Ahmed has a whole presentation in this regard, and also he's an alumni from the program, so it's nice to have his point of view. Yeah, especially for you, I guess. So the mic is yours.
Okay, thank you so much, first of all, Nino, for presenting this and introducing and inviting us. I will share the presentation now. Yes, or? Okay, thank you. So if everyone is seeing my presentation and hearing my voice, okay, amazing. So first of all, my name is Ahmed. I come from Egypt. And today I'm presenting this presentation on behalf of my professor, Professor Arnold. He is not able to do it today. That's why I'm doing this presentation today. I'm actually a graduate of this program, Sustainable Engineering of Infrastructure. So now I'm a holder of Master of Civil Engineering. At the beginning, when I wanted to come here to Germany to study, I applied to many universities and so on, and they had multiple options. But at the end, when I decided this subject, it was because of the subject. It's general civil engineering that you study under the framework of sustainability, which is you are not just trying to build, but you are building efficiently. You are also taking into consideration all the factors of climate change and the economical factor and the ecological factors also. So if we look to that challenge that we have today, you will see these are actually the challenges that we need a civil engineer for. The climate change, scarcity of resources, cities are getting bigger, and there is a very important need also for digitalization today. So for all these challenges, we have tasks for civil engineers to do, and we have also solutions that should be offered by civil engineers. And that's the need of civil engineers today. That's why this master is actually going around this area. It takes into consideration building a good civil engineer, giving you more than what you had in your bachelor, strengthening your knowledge, all in English, and in the same time, considering all the sustainable factors that you need to take into consideration. So at the end of this program, you should become an expert in civil engineering. You will have a lot of experience, and the good thing about this program also is that it's not only giving you courses, but at the end you will have to do a practical specialization, which is called a project. It's something you have to do about a specific subject of the subjects that you studied practically. There are many ways to do it, and variable ways. And at the end also you do your master thesis. So it's practically very, very nice actually. In this program also, you will have many things related to geodesign, natural resources. You study, we call it in German, Hoch, like the high building design. And also you study the lower one, which is infrastructure, geodesign, and all these things. So you could work in many different civil engineering areas, not in just building, high building or infrastructure. You can choose whatever you want. So if you look to the program, you see we have 3 semesters. It starts usually in the summer. You have different and variable courses here. For example, when I did my master thesis and then when I did my practical specialization project, I did it in BIM. So I'm actually now a project planning engineer in a company here in Germany. It's called the EGS Engineer. And I'm specialized in BIM for this company, actually. So you can, at the end of this program, decide in which area you want to work, and you have, as you see, multiple courses in different civil engineering areas and different options. So at the end, you'll be able to do planning, drafting, calculation, management, or maybe do all of them. I do almost most of these things in my work now. And also, if you look to the university, you'll see that you have a lot of labs for every subject you take. You have different labs that you can visit and learn, and usually they are totally related to the subject that you study. For example, if you study a course about BIM, you will go to the BIM labs, which is very interesting because you see visual reality and so on. But if you go to the pavement lab, you work with materials and so on. So at the end of this program, actually, you should be a civil engineer who have a master in this program, and you should be able to finish your program. But in order to finish this program, you have to do, as I said before, the practical specialization, which is the project that you decide. So you learn everything and you choose your direction at the end. After that, you will have the opportunity to do your master thesis. Your master thesis, of course, you are allowed to do it in different ways. For example, in my situation, I did it with the company that I'm working now with. They wanted a BIM engineer, and that was my practical specialization topic. So I convinced them, and they hired me to work as a student in the company. And they offered me the chance also to finish my master's thesis in the company. I did that all in English, despite the company only spoke German, actually. But it was a good opportunity that I developed my German skills, and that's something I want to talk about later now. So why would you choose this program to study in the FH in Germany? Because first of all, you're going to get a German certificate, a master degree of civil engineering from Germany. And also the program is totally taught in English. So you only need English to finish the whole program. You don't need German at all. But despite all of this, you still have also a very good opportunity in the Fachhochschule, which is the opportunity I had before, that when I came to Germany here 3 years ago, I only spoke English. But I took 3 courses in the Fachhochschule because I was allowed as a student to attend the German courses. So I attended the German courses for that long. And at the end, I was able to speak German. I was able to have more opportunities for work. And now I'm working actually in German. I don't speak English at all in my work, but I finished my master and I wrote everything in English. So the university is free. And also the city of Erfurt is one of the best in Germany, in my opinion. I love it so much. So you have 1.5 years almost, that's the regular study duration. But of course you can extend this a little bit if you need. So the program is very flexible with that. And you can always apply through the Uni Assist, which gives you the right assist that you need for entering the program. But if you look at the qualifications, you will see that you need to have at least good in your bachelor of civil engineering. and the ECTS of 210 CP. If you have less than 200, then it's also fine, because you can do an internship, which is many students do actually this. It's totally fine here that you enter the engineering market and go to a company and talk to them, do your internship there. It's totally fun, and many students do it without any problems. So please don't feel hesitated. So what you need from the English skills, you need actually 6 at least in IELTS or an equivalent grade. But if you studied actually your bachelor in English, you are allowed also to apply for this. You can just bring a proof from your bachelor that you studied in English, and it works also. So these are the fees of the program, including 20 euro that you pay only once for getting your student card. It's called 𝘗𝘓𝘃. And for the application for the Uni Assist, you need to pay first time 75, but for the second time 30 or 30, yeah, for the second time. So last of my presentation, I want to say a little information about the university. It was established in 1991. It has a very nice reputation, and the city of Erfurt is an amazing city to live. Despite that, I moved to another city near to Erfurt now, but I still always visit Erfurt because it's amazing. Erfurt, actually, if you want to look to some photos about the campus, you see how it looks here. It's pretty nice. These are also some random pictures from the university and students. And if we're gonna talk about the city of Erfurt, the city of Erfurt, it is small compared to other cities, but still the capital of Thuringia, which means you have a capital city which is full of people. You have almost 200,000 citizens living there and tourists. It's very easy to make friends, it's a very nice city, like I can say. So it was also the city of Martin Luther as a student. He studied here. And yeah, so if you look to Erfurt, it's actually the heart of Germany. Almost, if Germany is a body, so Erfurt's gonna be the heart. Here's the end of my presentation. Actually, I want to take your questions very gladly. But later also, if you have any question, you can always send it to Professor Arndt. You see the email down there, and I'm ready to take some questions now. Thank you so much.
Great. Thank you very much, Ahmed, for the details you provided. The email from Professor Arndt is also in chat, dear attendees, so you can just copy it from here, or maybe you can write with your hand if you prefer from the screen share. Dear Ahmed, you can have a look at the Q&A section if you want. And some of the questions were already answered, or actually all of them, but you can add more answers if you want. So it's always possible to add answers. Now I would like to ask you to please stop the screen share, as I would like to give the mic to our second speaker. And also, dear attendees, I put in the chat for you the info package from the program, because it was also available. And in case you also check the program page that I also put there, you can also see testimonials from Ahmed, also in written, not only as a presentation. All right. Okay. Silke already shared the screen, so I will not share my slide. But I will just all good. You don't have to stop it. I will just mention that now we have Bauhaus-Universität Weimar, and there will be 2 programs from there. The first one is Master in Science, Natural Hazards and Risks in Structural Engineering. You will see the location from Silke's presentation. So thank you, Dr. Silke Beinersdorf, for taking your time and for joining the webinar. And we also have Dr. Matthias Artus, who will be the following speaker for the study program Master in Science Digital Engineering. So I will not start my screen share. Dr. Artus, you can start right away after Silke's presentation.
Thank you, Nina, for the kind introduction, and welcome to all participants today. Yeah, welcome to the presentation of the NHRE Master Degree Program. First of all, I would thank you for the interest in the program, and I will, at the beginning of my presentation, briefly introduce the university and Weimar, and then I will introduce the program, the objectives, the admission requirements a bit, and often answered questions, and at the end also our team. First of all, to say something about Weimar. Yeah, we have here a lively cultural city with an important history. We have 2 universities and a lot of World Heritage sites, parks, cafes, design shops, a great city to live in. And the Bauhaus, as you might know, was the most influential design school in the 20th century. You see here in the picture also the main building of the campus, which was founded in 1919. And our university is tied to this history. Yeah, we renamed our university according to that, and we are a quite international university, and we are part of this cultural city. And that's, I think, also quite nice for students when they are studying here in Weimar. And we invoke this tremendous, that we are a vibrant institution and we are not a museum. And we invoke this tremendous paradigm to answer central questions regarding art, culture, technology, science, and society with modern methods. And that includes also the critical analysis of our history and how this impacts us and how we can solve problems of the future. For those internationals, you might be interested about the student body, just a bit brief. We have at the moment almost 30% of our student body are internationals. The national average is around 16%. Bit more about our faculty. I am from the Faculty of Civil and Environmental Engineering. That was founded in 1954, and we have special sections regarding structural engineering, material science, environmental engineering, construction management. NHRE is located in the section structural engineering. And we as engineers face a lot of problems at the moment and with the beginning of the new millennium. And the goal of the faculty is to see its primary task to train our graduates to meet these requirements they have outside when they leave with a finished master, and that we are constantly working on expanding and developing the education and the training profile. Briefly, our master programs, you see them here. The orange ones are the ones that are taught totally in English, and NHRE is the one that I'm presenting. And now a bit more about this master program. We have a lot of natural hazards occurring on the globe, and our master course faces this challenge by providing the tools that you need to deal with that. And that is in this range of computational mechanics, dynamics, probability theory, and should give you the key qualifications to work innovatively in the section regarding to deal with earthquakes, flood, and in the direction wind engineering in the international setting, and that you achieve technical success and personal advancement when you finish here the master. A bit more details about the master. Briefly, also maybe the perspectives if you study NHRE. Most of our graduates find quite quickly a good job. A lot of them are also working here in Germany. They are well-trained civil engineers, and at the moment it's still greater in demand than the supply. What else? We recommend the program is totally taught in English. We recommend, despite that, to learn some German, especially then if you plan to stay here a bit longer, to get more knowledge as civil engineer here in a German company. Therefore, that's a thing we quite recommend. and it's also part in our curriculum. Just for the application process, you can be from different positions. If you are an international, then you apply via UniAssist until 15th of July. If you gained a bachelor inside the European Union, it's until 30th of September. And we also offer a 𝘱𝘀𝘪𝘳𝘵 scholarship, or we are awarded with that. I come to this in the next slide. And for that, you would have to apply to the 15th October of the year before the start of the studies. A bit more details regarding our 𝘱𝘀𝘪𝘳 scholarship. You might have seen this already when you searched for the course and what it is about. The DAD grants 4 to 8 full funded scholarships for our master course. And that is for applicants from developing countries that graduated outside Germany and have a career of at least 2 years in a position in industry, business, or administration. And those can apply for this scholarship, and might be for, especially for some countries, to be a really good help to have a study finally here in Germany. Some about the general requirements. We are civil engineers, therefore a Bachelor of Science in Civil Engineering or from an equivalent field is required, and the final grade should be 2.5 or better according to the German system. And the English, if you didn't have a bachelor thesis in the bachelor, then it is required that you upload a project, how you document that you can prove that you can work scientifically. Regarding the English language level, we are in the upper B2 level, and you can either be a native speaker or you have to prove it with TOEFL, IELTS, or something equivalent. The language of instruction in English is not sufficient. Therefore, we need one of these certificates, and it shouldn't be older than 2 years before the start of the study. Further on, a bit more about NHRE and what we address. Yeah, what is the plan? What is the target group? Our students come mainly from countries which face natural hazards, where engineers have a problem with that, and they have to deal with these. On one hand, quite frequent ones with flood, for example, are more infrequent, like let's say landslides or earthquakes. And we also address employees from authorities in connection to disaster management, engineering companies, and research institutions. And you see here the chain of natural hazards, and our program is inherent to this chain. And what you see here are the compulsory modules and where they are located in this chain, that you see that you, when you study this course, you somehow fulfill the whole chain. And at the end, you might select, okay, in this direction, I want to work in the future, but I shall be prepared. A bit quick, our curriculum, which you also find on our homepage. You see we have compulsory modules, elective modules, and elective compulsories. You see one elective module can also taken from the German classes that can be used here. And at the end, we have in total 120 credit points. The master goes about 4 semesters, and it focuses on earthquake engineering, structural design, geotechnical, hydrotechnical engineering, FEM, nonlinear analysis under extreme loading in several subjects, stochastics and risk assessment, and disaster management. And it combines, on the one hand, theoretical, and on the other hand, practical topics that you are need in the field of natural hazard mitigation and structural engineering. Elective compulsories, here you see the recent state, what is can be chosen of. You see we have various ones. You can specialize in certain directions, but you can also select from a broad variety, always depending on your personal interests and your future goals. At the end, quite quick, our team. We have on the one hand the heads of the master program, Professor 𝘱𝘥𝘷𝘦𝘳𝘵 and Professor 𝘱𝘢𝘅𝘱𝑚𝑠chick, and on the other side, myself as academic advisor, Silke Beinersdorf, then our international officer, Dr. Engelhardt, and the examination officer, Mrs. 𝘗𝘕𝘓𝘕. And that would be everything from my side, quite briefly. And thank you for your attention. Feel free, if you have any questions, to contact us via email. You can call me, and yeah, don't hesitate if you have there any. We are really happy to help you. Thank you for your attendance.
Thank you very much for all the details you provided. It was indeed interesting, and I think there are lots of interesting applicants as well, from the questions at least. Now, Dr. Artus.
Which is, thanks. Thank you also for the very nice introduction. So, okay. Also, welcome from my side. I'm Dr. Matthias Artus, also from the Bauhaus-Universität. And I would like to introduce you to digital engineering. Also, I would start a little bit about Weimar, maybe from a different perspective. Weimar is very known for the Bauhaus legacy. We have here a very special place with a great tradition, with very important influences on modern design, arts, architecture. Everything comes together at the Bauhaus here in Weimar, where the Bauhaus also has its origin. So it's often that Bauhaus is thinking, or is the idea of the Bauhaus is to bring together different disciplines here. Silke Beinersdorf already showed it, structural engineering, and also with the focus or with having a look on environmental, and there you get the idea of the natural hazards and risk engineering. Bauhaus is also very famous, there were many famous and great sculptors, painters, which have been taught here. So it's not about only technology, engineering, it's also about architecture, arts, culture, and so on. So you will find here also very active cultural environment, very innovative. Yeah. Digital engineering has also taken the idea of interdisciplinarity. Currently, what we face is an ongoing digitalization of engineering, of the engineering sector. So digital engineering tries to combine the digital part, software, computation, together with the engineering part, for example, structural engineering, mechanical engineering, architecture. The program is a 2-year program, completely taught in English. As Silke said, we have here approximately 30% of international students. And we would like to provide you essential skills for the Industry 4.0. That's the German initiative to digitalize and automate several parts of the industry. As I said, mechanical engineering, civil engineering, electrical engineering, and stuff like that. The focus is highly on civil engineering and shows how to apply methods from computer science in digital engineering, and also how research will go on there. What can you do at the end with a master's in digital engineering? You work at the interface between engineers and computer scientists. These are often two different worlds which have to be connected, and there are many misunderstandings in communication. So sometimes you get software where engineers, for example, say, oh, we can't work with that. On the other side, computer scientists or software developers say, oh, we don't understand these engineers. This problem is already solved, and we don't understand why do you think it's not solved? So there's a big problem of communication, and the idea is to have people directly bridging this gap here. So we have here interdisciplinary projects between computer science and civil engineering. You can work as a model manager in industry, as an analyst and scientist in engineering, as a system integrator, a technical manager, consultant for digitalization concepts, also software developer if you're much interested in software, or you can also be an engineer in production, for example, also focus on automation in production. And of course, there are many, many research positions, as also Silke said, so there are also opportunities to gain a PhD later on. The program is very project-based and research-led. For example, our projects which we offer are very tightly related, for example, to research. What you see here, for example, are projects with virtual reality or augmented reality. Before at the start slide, you have seen projects regarding or conducting, including unmanned aerial vehicles. It's about user interfaces. It's also about computation. So everything you need for modern engineering. And the advantage is engineers, they have the strength to think in mathematics, to think in systems, and also to analyze the system. And modern engineering requires software for that. And we need engineers who understand, or we need persons who understand both worlds, so that maybe we can also provide custom software for engineers, custom fitted software. This is more and more required here. What is the curriculum about? You will get 3 fundamentals. After your application, you will receive, if you have been accepted, there will be 3 fundamentals which you get with your application, not with the application, with the confirmation letter. And these fundamentals depend on what is your background. We accept computer science, we accept applicants with a background in computer science and with a background in engineering. These are the major groups. And depending on that background, you will receive your stipulations for the fundamentals. If you're from engineering, you will receive more modules from computer science. If you have a computer science background, you will have to do some maths and engineering instruction. Then, sorry, I have here a typo in. All the green elements should be engineering methods. You have to do 6 modules in engineering methods. This can be, I have another slide with the modules there later on. And you have at least 3 modules for computer science. Then you have 2 modules, or here you can also have 3 modules depending on the credit points. For the electives, you have a big research project, and you have your master thesis at the end for your degree. So for the fundamentals, you get 8, you have to do 18 credit points. This will be set with your stipulation, or with your stipulation letter. For engineering methods, you have this 36 credit points. Computer science are 18 credit points. Then you need 12 credit points for the electives. This can be chosen from the entire university. Every master program you can choose there. You can choose modules from the module catalog, but you can from the module catalog of digital engineering, but you can also have a look on completely foreign modules. For example, these weeks a student inquired if he can attend a module called Cinema Club. This is also a master module, and this would be also count for your electives. You have 12 credit points project. It's a group project together with 3 to 6 students. That's a very huge part of your study. And of course, at the end, you have your master module. In the fundamentals, as I said, we have some basics for engineering and also computer science. So for computer science, we have your algorithms and data structures, software engineering, and object-oriented modeling and programming. For the fundamentals, in the case of engineering, we have introduction to mechanics, advanced numerical mathematics, and statistics, for example. Some examples for the engineering methods are here: advanced building information, macroscopic transport modeling, computer models for physical processes, design and interpretation of experiments. What we have new next semester is deep learning and computational mechanics. And in the computer science section, we have image analysis, machine learning, computer vision, visualization, real-time rendering, and also computer graphics. Additionally to that, you can also say, yeah, this combination of the program is interesting, but I would like to have a little bit more focus for my, or a little bit more orientation for my study, because for digital engineering, you're very free to choose your modules. The only one fixed are the fundamentals. The rest of that, all the other credit points, over 100 credit points, you can choose on your own. There is not the only fixed modules are these 3 fundamentals. The rest is chosen by you. If you say, I would like to have it a little bit more structured, you can think about to make use of our so-called profile lines. Sorry. The profile lines are the idea to have a little bit something like specialization, or giving you a guideline what to choose. And we have two profile lines here. Modules, the modules for structures and materials, or you can say, I would like to take the profile line mobility and transport. So structures and materials is very much about finite elements, modeling materials and structures, of course. So experiments, finite element methods, mechanics of engineering materials, image analysis, object recognition, and so on. Or if you say, I'm interested in mobility and transport, you can also say, I would like to take this profile line. So you have the introduction to mobility and transport, macroscopic, microscopic transport modeling, simulation methods, photogrammetric computer vision, and so on. This will lead also to an additional statement on your final certificate. So meaning you have your master's in digital engineering in the profile line, structures and materials, or mobility and transport. For that, it would be required that you have 16 credit points in the related modules, and possibly in the project, and of course the master's thesis must be also in the field. With that, you would get this additional certificate, or this additional information on your final certificate. Besides that, we have a very interesting infrastructure together with the faculty. This program is set up is located at 2 faculties. So it's a joint program of the Faculty of Media and the Faculty of Civil and Environmental Engineering. And the Faculty of Media has a interdisciplinary research center for computer scientists, engineers, and artists, the so-called digital Bauhaus lab, with modern computers and computing systems for advanced large-scale research, with advanced large research devices. For example, interactive displays, cluster computers, and also interface development lab. The technical highlight is the multi-user 3D display. So where several users look on the same display and they get different views depending on their location, for example. Additionally to that, there is a new initiative since this year called the Bauhaus for EU initiative, and it's designed, or the idea is to have a European University Alliance or campus, speaking about or having the goal for resilient, sustainable, inclusive, and beautiful regions. It has started this year. The aim is also the collaboration on academic education and research. Several countries are involved, for example, Germany, France, Italy, Poland. And first courses in this environment are planned for 2026. So you can also make then use of these courses. Yeah, I've also included here some links in the presentation, which will be offered later on. For example, the website that you found, where you will find several information about, again, about the prerequisites, stuff like that. Also important are study and examination regulations. For you, maybe the study regulations, where again the requirements, prerequisites are necessary or important for you. And we have here also the module catalog that you can study all modules before you come here to see if this program fits to you. And of course, the contact address 𝘱𝘢𝘕𝘁 at 𝘕𝑒𝑛.uni-weimar.de.
Great. Thank you so much to you as well for all the details you provided. To all speakers, once again, thank you very much. Now let's start. And also, dear attendees, I'm very thankful for your interest with questions. And meanwhile, I try to be helpful in this regard. So I find a few groups of questions that were asked a few times. Of course, 𝘗𝘪𝘵 epos was mentioned, and I want to mention one important thing. So the online application deadline, and it's really common for 𝘗𝘪𝘵 like scholarships. First of all, there are separate applications. You don't apply to a program and you are not considered automatically for a scholarship. There are separate applications. And for this 𝘗𝘪𝘵 epos scholarships, the application is always 15th of October of the previous year. So if you are applying to a program right now, you can still apply for a scholarship, but you will get it from your second year of the master's program. So it's still possible, and best of luck with that. But yeah, don't expect that you will get the scholarship right now. And also I saw lots of questions about the application. So all programs are using UniAssist. If you don't know how to apply via UniAssist, I can recommend checking our article about it. Also visiting, of course, UniAssist page, or you can attend a webinar on how to apply via UniAssist, which will be on May 16th. I'm registered, I'm presenting, so you will also meet me there. This is another option. And there were questions about the prices. So to apply via UniAssist, you need to pay fee. This is 75 euros the first application, 30 euros the same. Every following application is the same semester. And so if you apply for 2 programs, let's say, you will pay 105 euros. And UniAssist, very important, is that will not decide if you're a good fit for a program or not. They are just doing a technical check, seeing if your previous degree or bachelor in this case is recognized in Germany. And then they will be sending the documents to the program representatives who will already then select the applicants that are relevant for a program. So this is really important. Then I saw questions about GPA. So maybe if you, I also put the GPA calculators. Dear attendees, I don't know which GPAs you're mentioning. I think German, because like if you are using US, then 4.0 is the best. But if you apply for a German university, don't apply with 4.0 because then it's a big failure. You need to convert your GPAs. For that, please use the GPA calculators. And once again, can you please remind our attendees about the GPAs, if you have a threshold and how harsh it is, and can one improve his or her GPA with a good motivation letter or recommendation letter? Let's start with Ahmed. I'm sure you did not have any problems with GPA, but the insider hint.
Sorry, can you repeat the question again?
Yeah, do you have a GPA? There is a GPA threshold for a program application to apply it at Erfurt?
Yeah, that question I can't answer actually because I don't remember the number exactly.
Okay.
Yeah, but as I mentioned in the presentation, it's good. I don't know what good actually means in this regard. So maybe this question could be forwarded somehow to Professor Arndt.
Mm-hmm. I will. I will assist you now. I can share the screen. So for the program from Erfurt, you need to have a German grade 2 or above,
Yeah.
and they have requirements of 210 ECTS. In case you have fewer than that, then you have to fulfill all the requirements they have. For all programs, admission application instructions are available here. So what you need to apply, etc.
Yes, exactly. That's also the information that I know actually, so I can just say more than this.
Great. Silke, if you could you repeat please the threshold and then how strict you are with that?
Yeah, I wrote something already to applicants, possible applicants are that asked. For uni-assist, we have a threshold of 2.6 and above, and I check all of them. We check all of them. You see also on our homepage what we are requiring. A CV in Europass format I recommend because it's easier for me to check. And I see you can follow the instructions. And if you know you have not the best GPA, I recommend to write your motivation. Why do you want to study? Yeah, and if it's a quite good one, I see, okay, that here's really an interest, not written by AI, it's some general motivation. I really want your motivation. Can be 1, maximum 2 pages. I recommend to do that, and that helps always to decide at the end. Yeah, it's not a general application I apply at 10 universities. I really want to study this. Why it's the reason that helps to support your application.
Mm-hmm. Thank you. Matthias?
We have set a GPA threshold of 2.3 at uni-assist. So all applications below that threshold won't be forwarded to us. So you need a GPA better than 2.3. Besides that, for us, it is important that you reflect a proper scientific writing. So for that, we would need the project report or bachelor thesis. Please send your entire thesis, not only a shortened version or only a summary or abstract. We need a complete one. Don't care if it's not in English. What we can also handle is Farsi or Dari, and Russian would be also a possibility. So we have colleagues here which can help us with that. But we need the entire document. In that you should show, okay, I can structure such a document. I can properly present my work, and I can work with literature. These are the important points there. And you have to reflect on that you have a basic programming knowledge. So we have several applications with students who are interested but who have no background from computer science, and for those we have made the experience they struggle very hard, and at the end they cancel the program for their own. So that's the reason why we say we need a background from computer science. This could be reflected with academic courses. So in your bachelor's, you have maybe done some, what we need is programming, not working with Excel, not working with Revit. What we need is programming. So that you have programmed in a programming language like C, C#, Java, whatever. And this can be done with university courses, or you have been employed as a software developer. What we do not respect are courses from Coursera, LinkedIn, or stuff like that. This is not considered as programming background or programming knowledge.
Mm-hmm. Thank you so much. Now I see your question, Azim. And I also checked you are still in the audience. So I see that you are searching for a civil engineering program, so you could apply for one of those. And the next part of your letter is that you need acceptance from a professor. So I don't really understand what you mean by that, but if you apply for a program and you submit all the required documents, then you will receive an acceptance letter from a program, and then you can start. And for the publication of your thesis, this is great. This could also support your application, I guess. Yeah, you can demonstrate this to when applying to a study program. If you have a follow-up, or I didn't understand your question correctly, please, I see you are still here, so you can follow up in chat now. Then I see question being answered about the 10-year experience. I did Bachelor in Science Civil Engineering in 2014, and Master in Science 2024. Am I eligible for scholarship? I see Silke is writing. Do you want to voice this instead? Or do you prefer? You are muted.
I'm nearly done, but maybe that is interesting for those who are applying for a DAD scholarship. The DAD is quite strict with their rules, with their the application process, the format. If you plan to do that, really follow the checklist they have. Read carefully what they want. Sign the checklist with a wet signature. That is really, really important. Otherwise, there stops the application process. Yeah, if that's not done correctly. We try to do our best to prepare all applicants, to bring them to at least to that the application is reviewed. Regarding the experience or how long the bachelor should be from the time period back, it shouldn't be more than 6 years. Otherwise, the AD will not accept the applicant. That is at the moment because visitor possible applicant was asking for that. Therefore 6 years. But in any case, you can try. Because then if you have a quite good letter of motivation and what is your experience and you can resume to that, then it might be still the chance that you can be to the list where the DAD decides that would be a student we would be interested in. There's never nothing is possible when you be able to write a quite good application, but normally the limit is 6 years backwards.
Thank you. Go ahead.
There was one question, how much or what is the focus of digital engineering? So is it only about digitizing the construction process or anything else? So Bauhaus is known for architecture and civil engineering. So we have a high focus on those areas. It's not only the construction process, it's also structural engineering, related simulations and materials. However, mechanical engineers face often the situation that we have a high focus, and also electrical engineers face then the situation that we have a high focus on these two topics, engineering, architecture. So if you say, I'm not so much into these two topics, I would recommend to maybe look for something else there.
Thank you. Ahmed, there was again a technical question to you. I don't know if you are aware. If a person has no bachelor thesis to submit, is it possible to show something else?
Yes, of course. Actually, when I submitted, I didn't do a bachelor thesis in my bachelor. I did a project of graduation, so it was totally fine. there is the most important document that we have to apply with in the Fachhochschule. It's an exposé. So the student has to write about what he did in his bachelor. If he did a project, he can write about it. If he did a bachelor thesis, he can also write about it. So the most important is that the student write it scientifically and write it with all the criteria that is provided during the application. The criteria are clear. Only the student has to follow these criteria and do it in a good way. Yeah.
Thank you. And I see lots of people being worried about the GPA and all of that. So let me ask this question then. You all of you mentioned already a GPA thresholds, and do your programs also have a limited number of applicants they take? Do you have M.Sc or you don't have M.Sc in your courses? And so will you be kind of ranking also applicants after they meet the minimum requirements? So that they need to strive now for the better GPA than possible. Let's start with Ahmed.
Of course, there are a limited number. I'm not sure about the number exactly, but like I will say from my experience, what I see that every year we receive almost 15 students. They are the students who arrive here. And that means the number could be a little bit more higher. It could be 20 or 30. I'm not sure about this. So maybe also this question could be forward for more clear answer about it. But I just answer from my experience. Yeah.
And also, I was just also browsing the page. The program has limited admission, so there is local admission restrictions. So there will be also kind of rank. You need to have a bit more than minimum GPA.
Yeah.
For Weimar?
Actually, there is no clear boundary, regarding the admission. For sure, we have in the last years, the numbers of applicants has risen. Therefore, we check quite good your application, the quality, and your CV, everything is taken into account. But if you get admission to the program, you can start the program. And also for those who have problems in the visa application process, our admission letter is valid for 2 years. It states it's for 1 year, but you can write our student office that you need an update, because we know for some countries it needs 2 years to get a visa. Therefore, that is not a problem. Then we can prolongate this for 1 year. If you see, I cannot start this year, I can start next year because of that. But there is no, as soon as you get admission or a conditional admission, then you have maybe to fulfill some English certificate to update or something like this. It's there is no restriction.
Very similar for digital engineering. There is currently no defined limit for acceptance. For us, it would be more that's important. But what are often rejection reasons in digital engineering is the quality of the project report. For example, we have several times or several years now, we receive conference papers written by 5, 6, 7 people, 5 pages, 6 pages, and 1 or 2 of the people are scientific or research assistants. In that case, we cannot identify who has really written that. Was it the research assistant? Was it the student? Were the students? And so on. This is often a rejection reason. Also, rejection reason is if the scientific report does not contain any scientific literature, so mainly websites. This is also rejection. And the programming knowledge, as I said. So you need to provide information about the programming knowledge. So if you meet those criteria, you're normally eligible and you would receive an admission letter together with the stipulations. And as Silke said, this letter is normally valid for 6 months, or it's stated there it's valid for 6 months. But if you look in the study regulations, there's this written 1 year, and that's the binding one. The study regulations are the important here. So if you ask, you would like to have an adjusted letter for 1 year, you will get it in case for your visa, for example.
Just now the question came, if someone got admitted 25, how many semesters is it valid? So then it's like 3 months and 1 year, right? Or
for digital engineering, 12 months, so 1 year. If you get
1
the
year. Okay.
yeah.
And for NHRE, 2 years counted from the intake.
Ahmed, do you have any insights in this regard? Maybe you also had to do a visa procedure, so how was it? Was it difficult to get appointment and stuff?
In Egypt, everything was a procedure actually. So you just follow the steps, follow whatever you have to do, but it wasn't difficult. The only thing that took a little bit time was waiting for the visa, almost 1 month from the time of application to receiving. But other than this, if the student reads what is required and do exactly what is in the point structured, so everything should be fine. So I just recommend students to read the application right, do exactly what is required from you in the application. In the visa application also, they put the structure of the requirements, do exactly what they want. Everything should work fine. It's just a matter of time. Yeah.